Let me tell you something real. Life doesn't hand out trophies just for showing up. It rewards the ones who fight, who bleed, who endure. I wasn't born into comfort. I was born into a world that didn't care if I made it or failed. But I made a decision to turn my rage into strength. Growing up, I faced obstacles that could have broken most. My father, a chess master, taught me strategy, but life taught me resilience. There were nights we went to sleep hungry, days we faced mockery. But pain taught me more than any classroom could, and I paid attention. I watched, I learned, I hardened, I found refuge in the ring. Kickboxing became my escape. Every strike, every movement was my declaration. I will not be broken. I trained endlessly, not just to win matches, but to defeat the chaos within. The gym became my sanctuary. The mat turned into my battlefield. But victory isn't only about muscle. It's about mental toughness. I faced rejection, failures, even betrayal. People mocked me, tried to drag me down. But I kept standing because I knew exactly who I was. My spirit was sharpened by every struggle. I took my mindset into business. I faced failure, lost money, doubted myself. Still, I never stopped. I adapted, rebuilt, and rose stronger each time. Every failure laid the groundwork for a comeback. Life threw punches meant to break me, but I kept moving. I turned obstacles into chances, building everything from scratch, not through luck, but through pure grit. I refused to stay down. I refused to be ordinary. Now, when I speak, it's not from a place of privilege. It's from the battlefield of life. Your situation doesn't decide your future, your actions do. Channel your anger, let your pain become your fuel, rise above, claim what's yours. I remember the bitter winters in Luton, the cracked walls, broken heating, my mother boiling water to keep us warm. Those nights didn't destroy me, they lit a fire in me that still burns. Pain is unavoidable, but suffering is a choice. I chose not to suffer, I chose to fight. That one choice changed everything. Every man has a storm inside him. The real question is, will you let it drown you or will you learn to ride it? I didn't become a champion because I was always the strongest. I became a champion because I never gave up. When others rested, I trained. When they doubted, I believed. Discipline became my closest ally and it never betrayed me. People ask me, Tate, what keeps you going? I tell them, I remember the struggle. I remember the hunger. I remember the silence that came with doubt. And I promised myself I'd never go back. That promise became my power. Some fear failure, but failure is a mirror and shows you who you really are. Every time I hit the ground, I got back up. Wounded, yes, but never broken. Because I knew in my soul I was built for greatness. This world, it's not fair. It owes you nothing. You have to take what's yours. With sweat, sacrifice, and a backbone of steel, winners don't ask for permission. They step forward and claim what's theirs. I've been praised. I've been hated. I've heard cheers and curses. None of that matters. What matters is knowing your truth. Don't let anyone else define you. Define yourself. Don't chase attention. Chase mastery. Because when you become excellent, even your enemies respect you. I came from nothing. And nothing taught me everything. How to endure, how to adjust, how to fight. And now I teach others because strength isn't diminished when shared. It multiplies. There were nights I questioned myself, looked in the mirror and only saw failure. But somewhere deep inside, a voice whispered, "You're not finished." That voice was my warrior, the part of me waiting to rise. And you have that same voice, that same fire. You just need to shut out the noise, fear, laziness, doubt, and listen. Once you do, you'll discover a power that can't be stopped. I built my body through pain, my mind through self-control, my life through belief, and every man can do the same. But it begins with a choice. Will you be weak or will you become a force? Don't let your pain go to waste. Use it for something bigger. Don't let your fury fade. Turn it into focus. Don't waste time. Use every day to build a legacy that can't be erased. Because in the end, it's not about money, cars, or applause. It's about who you become, the difference you make. That's what real power looks like. I've faced darkness most people couldn't imagine, fear, pressure, judgment. But I didn't run. I stood tall. I walked into the fire, head held high. From those flames, I rose. From that hate, I built strength. From every loss, I learned something new. Today, I stand not as a victim, but as a victor. And you can too. You weren't born to live small. You were made to lift mountains, to break chains, to rise. No one's going to hand it to you. You have to earn it. It's on you. All of it. Look in the mirror. That man looking back, he's either your biggest enemy or your greatest partner. Choose wisely. The real war isn't outside, it's inside. The world doesn't need more followers. It needs more warriors. More men ready to fight for what matters. Be that man. Be the force. So if you're in pain right now, good. That means you've got something worth fighting for. That means your story isn't over, but only you can write the ending. Only you can turn that fury into something that can't be stopped, into something greater, into a force that changes everything, from fury to strength, from pain to power, from struggle to legacy. This is your path. Walk it boldly. Walk it with intent. And when the world says you can't, you smile and prove them wrong. Because nobody remembers the man who gave up, but they never forget the one who rose from the ashes and forged his fury into greatness. So stand up. Rise. Become the man you were meant to be. You won't get far if you keep trying to negotiate with your emotions. Comfort is the drug. Once you taste it, you'll crave it. But comfort destroys kings. It lulls warriors to sleep beneath soft blankets while their dreams rot. You weren't made to be comfortable. You were made to be carved by hardship, molded in chaos. Every man and woman walking this planet has a breaking point. I found mine. I stood on the edge, staring into the void, trying to swallow me whole, and I made a decision. I could fall or I could build wings. So I did what most won't. I chose deliberate suffering. I trained through pain. I studied through loss. I pushed when others froze. They'll call you obsessive when you get close to mastery. They'll say you're toxic when you raise your stand. They'll try to guilt you into settling because your growth exposes their weakness. Let them talk. You don't owe anyone comfort. You don't owe explanations. Let your results speak. Stay quiet. Let your success echo. I've been broke, not just in my wallet, but in my spirit. I've sat in silence with no clue how to rise again. My body damaged, my name tarnished, my account drained. But I didn't give up because I realized no one's coming. And in that truth, I found power. Because when no one's coming, you become everything. Winning isn't about luck. Luck is just an excuse people use to stay weak. I made my own luck. I worked when others rested. I studied when they partied. I trained when they gave up. So when my shot came, I was too prepared to fail. That's not luck. That's war. Every day I fought a war against the man I used to be. People wait for motivation. Let me tell you, motivation is a liar. It's laid, unreliable, and soft. You need discipline. You need a reason so powerful that quitting feels like betrayal. I didn't wake up every day happy. I woke up focused. Every hour was a step toward becoming unstoppable. I lost people along the way. Some couldn't handle my drive. Some hated that I refused to settle. That's okay. You'll lose the weak when you choose power. Let them go. Your real tribe will find you. And the path to greatness, it was never meant to be crowded. I remember one morning in my 20s, bruised from a fight, worn out from work, looking into the mirror and asking, is it worth it? I searched my own eyes, and what I saw wasn't defeat. It was hunger. Not for fame, but to dominate my situation. That moment changed me. I stopped just surviving. I started building. When I talk about strength, I'm not just talking muscles or money. I'm talking about emotional steel, the kind that lets you walk through storms and not shatter, the kind that lets you bury the pain and honor the promises you made to yourself. That strength, it doesn't come from comfort. It comes from surviving the fire. Ease is valued more than achievement. People crave validation more than real results. But true winners, They move in silence. They don't announce every step. They simply show up and execute daily, with or without applause. I remember walking into rooms and feeling like I didn't belong. Now, I walk in and the room goes quiet. Not because I became someone else, but because I evolved into someone they never saw coming. That's what happens when you stop living for others and start living like a warrior. I've broken down behind closed doors. I've screamed into pillows. I've questioned everything, but I never gave up. Because the only thing that hurts more than trying is looking back with regret. When you commit to growth, pain becomes your companion. And eventually, you'll be grateful for it, for making you unstoppable. Your trauma, your scars, your failures, they're not shameful. They're your proof, your credentials, proof you survived what should have destroyed you. Own that, wear it like armor, because every time you fell and got up again, you became someone unmatched. You have to decide what kind of story you want to leave behind. Do you want to be remembered as the one who almost made it or the one who never gave in, no matter what hit them? Because trust this, life will come at you with betrayal, loss, rejection, chaos. Your reaction is what will define you. I learned that control is the key. Control your thoughts, control your space, control your surroundings. You can't grow when you're surrounded by weakness. Cut it off, not out of anger, but out of necessity. You don't climb mountains with weights chained to your legs. Let go, wish them well from a distance, but keep climbing. You'll never hear a lion explain its roar. Stop explaining your fire. Stop justifying your hunger. Stop apologizing for your goals. The people who matter won't feel threatened. They'll feel inspired. And the rest, let them sit on the sidelines while you dominate. People say, but it's hard. Of course it's hard. That's the whole point. If it were easy, everyone would be great. Pressure makes diamonds. Fire strengthens steel. Difficulty isn't optional. It's essential. You're not meant to be handed greatness. You're meant to earn it. With blood, with effort, with the type of self-respect that doesn't flinch. I stopped waiting for approval a long time ago. Society doesn't get to determine my worth. I do. I define who I am. You want freedom? Stop asking. Take it. You want strength? Build it. You want respect? Earn it. Nobody's going to deliver it to your doorstep. Stand tall and claim what's already within you. The strongest version of you is hiding behind everything you keep avoiding. That tough conversation, that exhausting workout, that lonely grind, that book you still haven't opened, that action that makes you uncomfortable. That's where your real breakthrough is waiting. I've seen fear in the eyes of champions right before battle, and that's okay, because fear is normal, but champions move anyway. They fight anyway. They act anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to keep going despite it. I lived that. Every time I took a risk, I was scared, but I never let fear hold a steering wheel. Emotions are passengers. Let them ride, but never let them drive. Your mission has to outweigh your moods. Discipline over comfort. Movement over anxiety. Growth over excuses. That's the formula. You push past your doubts. You silence your reasons. You win the day even when it hurts. And believe this, even if you've lost everything, you're still dangerous. Why? Because you're free. Free to rebuild. Free to evolve. Free to conquer. Don't let your current condition fool you into thinking you're trapped. You are not your setbacks. You are not your past. You are whatever you choose to be today. You don't need to be flawless. You just need to be relentless. Just show up every single day, even when you're bruised, even when you're drained. Show up for your purpose. Show up for your future. Because every word, every rep, every risk, it's shaping something far bigger than what you see now. You won't impact the world by being passive. Pick a side. Choose effort over ease. Choose growth over gossip. Choose goals over distractions. Because if you don't, someone else will. And they'll take the life that could have been yours. I refuse to be that man. You should too. This is your battle cry, not just to make money or get fit, but to become a weapon of purpose, so unshakable, so focused, so powerful that nothing, not even life, can break you. You came from fire. now become the force. People don't see the grind, only the result. They see the lifestyle. They don't see the breakdowns. They don't feel the pressure of betting everything and losing. They don't hear the silence. They don't need to. What matters is that you keep showing up quietly, through the pain, with determination in your chest and clarity in your soul. Most people break when things get tough. They back out. They say, maybe it's not meant to be. But that phrase, it's a lie. It's absolutely meant to test you. Resistance is life's way of asking, how bad do you want this? If you give up, you didn't want it. But if you keep fighting, life shifts. Opportunities unlock. Doors open, but only for the relentless. I've sat in silence, broke and unsure how to make rent. I've stared at my screen, hoping for something to go right. I've watched people I trusted turn cold when I had nothing left to give. And I took it all. The isolation, the heartbreak, the weight. I didn't run from it. I absorbed it. And I turned it into fuel. You must become resistant to disappointment, immune to betrayal. Not because you're numb, but because you're on a mission. Success is harsh. It demands everything. It'll test your sleep, your peace, your confidence, your love. It'll whisper lies when you're alone. It'll show you paths to failure. But if you keep showing up, even shaking, you win. Not because you're the strongest, but because you're the last one still fighting. That's the real game. Endurance. I wasn't raised with affirmations or vision boards. I was raised by experience. I didn't need people to tell me I could make it. I had to prove it to myself. Some of you are waiting to feel confident before taking action, but you got it backward. Confidence shows up after the struggle. It comes after rejection, after pushing through fear. It's earned, not imagined. You don't fake real strength. You can wear the look, drive the car, show off the watch. But when life punches you, all that fades. What remains is your spirit, your discipline, your mental toughness. And if those things aren't rock solid, you'll collapse. I've seen people rise fast and fall faster because their roots were shallow. Don't rush. Build deep, build slow, build so strong that nothing, no failure, no storm can shake you. Your story isn't over yet. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you've lost. It doesn't matter where you started. What matters is what you do next. Every breath is a chance to turn the page, but it takes boldness, the kind that lets you admit you're not where you want to be, the kind that helps you rise when no one cheers you on, the kind that makes you climb when the world tries to drag you down. This world isn't made for the soft. It's built by the brave. Strength isn't given, it's taken. It's forged in your lowest moments. It's created through grit, through habit, through repetition. You must become the type of person that fear can intimidate, the one who falls and smiles because they know they'll rise stronger. That's not arrogance. That's transformation. That's ownership. They'll say you've changed, and they'll be right. Growth demands it. You should change. Those who beg you to stay the same are afraid your rise will highlight their stillness. So let them stay behind. You've got a fire to protect. Don't dim it to keep others warm. You owe it to your younger self, the version of you that was scared, silent, overlooked, to become unbreakable. You owe it to that kid who dreamed of more, who felt small, to never shrink again. Become the leader, the warrior, the protector you once wished would rescue you. Everything I have today, discipline, confidence, freedom, was earned in the dark. I didn't inherit this mindset. I built it. I paid for it with time, with energy, with sacrifice. I lost people. I lost comfort. But what I gained is priceless. The ability to stand in any room and know, I can handle this. That's the kind of power they don't teach in school. That's the kind of education life gives when you refuse to stay down. Your pain isn't the end. It's the beginning of your rise. The world will break you, but if you let it mold you instead, you come back sharper, smarter, more dangerous. That's the path. Will you let life bury you, or will you rise like something unstoppable? Because this is it. No do-overs, no rewinds. Most people waste their time scrolling, whining, gossiping. Don't be most people. Be the exception. Be the one who rises when others sleep, the one who grinds long after the world goes quiet, the one who turns a name into a legacy. I don't care if you're tired, keep going. I don't care if you're broke, build anyway. I don't care if you're scared, move anyway. Because here's the truth no one wants to say. No one is coming. And that shouldn't scare you. It should empower you, because once you realize that, nothing can stop you. The world tries to control powerful men and women because real strength can't be managed. The system doesn't know how to handle those who refuse to kneel. Be one of them. Be untamed. Be sovereign. Be so self-made and so locked into your purpose that even when you lose, you still move forward. That kind of strength can't be broken. The most dangerous version of yourself isn't the one with the biggest bank account. It's the one with crystal clear purpose, the one who knows who they are, what they stand for, and what they're ready to suffer for. When you reach that kind of clarity, the world starts to respond to you differently. People sense it. Doors open. Opportunities tilt your way. Not because of chance, but because you became impossible to overlook. You don't get to play small anymore. Not after everything you fought through. Not after all the pain, setbacks, and sacrifices. You've earned the right to go all in, to bet on yourself without any hesitation, to show what happens when purpose meets fire and turns into strength. If you're going to be anything, be unshakable. Be the one they can't dismiss, ignore, or erase. Let your actions, your work, and your integrity speak louder than any noise around you. That's how you win. Not by talking, but by showing up day after day, no matter what. So here's something to hold on to. Whatever fire lives inside you, don't hide it. Don't push it down. Don't run from it. Channel it. Aim it. Use it. Because fire without focus becomes chaos. But fire with discipline, that's power the world can't contain. You don't need to apologize for wanting more. You don't need to shrink so others feel taller. The world's already full of people playing it safe, hiding behind fake smiles, pretending they're satisfied. If something inside you is burning, hunger, drive, obsession, don't bottle it up. Sharpen it. Focus it. Let it fuel you. Suppressed power turns into sadness, but guided power, that's where greatness begins. Don't feel guilty for wanting more money, more strength, more freedom. That doesn't make you selfish. It makes you awake. Awake to how short life is. Awake to how fast time slips. Awake to the fact that settling isn't courage, it's surrender. You weren't made to drift. You weren't born to just survive. You were made to rise, to lead, to dominate your lane like it was built for you. I had to unlearn almost everything they taught me. They said be humble, but I needed boldness. They said be patient, but I needed drive. They said follow, but I was born to lead. Are you still following advice from people who never built the life you dream of? No wonder you're stuck. There's a version of you that exists on the other side of fear, pain, and doubt. That version doesn't scroll social media first thing in the morning. He doesn't beg to be noticed. He doesn't fold when pressure hits. That version moves like a machine, calm, precise, focused. You don't find that version by hoping. You find him by walking through fire and refusing to be destroyed. People keep asking, what's the secret? There is no secret. The formula is plain. Sacrifice comfort, focus without mercy, train like your life depends on it. Think for yourself. Cut weakness and stay locked in, even when the world is lost in distractions. If you do that every single day, you won't need luck. You'll become unstoppable. You have to be your own warrior. There will be days when no one claps, no one checks on you, no one believes in you. That's when most people quit. But that's when you need to go harder. Not for them, for you. Because you're watching, you're keeping score. And how you show up when no one's watching, that's what separates the true warriors from the imitators. I've lost count of how many times I started over. From rock bottom. I've been broke, ignored, betrayed, laughed at, but I never stayed there. I came back with more fire, more focus, more strength. I became so sharp that the world couldn't ignore me anymore. And you can do the same. If you stop crying over what broke you and start building with what's still standing, your story could change someone's life, but that only happens when you change yours first. Be so disciplined they question if you're even human. Be so consistent that even your enemies respect you. They'll say you were lucky, that you cheated, that you had help. That's how they make sense of why they're still stuck and you're not. Let them talk. You don't owe them explanations. You owe yourself proof. Keep stacking victories, quiet or loud, whatever it takes, because success isn't about noise. It's about intensity, intense drive, intense focus, intense decisions. Your surroundings matter. You can't grow in a place that rewards laziness. You can't become exceptional if your circle is average. Pick your environment. Cut distractions like they're poison. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, people who make you sharper. Iron sharpens iron, but if you're surrounded by plastic, don't be surprised when you crack under pressure. The truth is, you're not trapped, you're just scared. Scared to fail. Scared of being judged. Scared of becoming someone too powerful to recognize. But fear isn't your enemy, it's fuel. I've used fear more times than I can count. Fear of being broke. Fear of wasting my talent. Fear of dying forgotten. Let that fear guide you. Let it keep you focused. Let it keep you hungry. You have to stop making deals with laziness. Every time you skip the hard work, sleep in, or take the easy path, you feed weakness. And weakness spreads fast. It clouds your mind, ruins your habits, steals your future. Starve it early. Crush it with discipline. Don't wait to feel ready. Act before you feel prepared. That's the difference between lions and lambs. You don't need motivation every day. You need commitment every single day. Motivation fades. Commitment stays. I trained when I could barely stand. I worked when my account was empty. I created when people hated me. Why? Because I decided not to be liked, not to be safe, but to become someone who would never feel regret again. The most dangerous man isn't loud. He's focused. He moves in silence, hits with accuracy, leaves no doubts. Be that man. Quiet when others shout, calm when others panic, sharp when others hesitate. There's nothing scarier than someone who's mastered themselves. Life is war, not with others, but with time. Every second gone is gone for good. You can't rewind. You can't beg for more. Use time as your weapon or die with regrets. I don't fear death. I fear wasting this gift. I fear looking back and realizing I lived soft, died average, and was forgotten before the dust even settled. That anger inside you, good. Use it. Don't bury it, direct it. Turn it into fuel. Let it build the life, the legacy, the empire. Don't let it destroy you. Let it define you. You came from chaos. That means you're already tested. So stop underestimating what you can handle. You've survived everything that tried to destroy you. Now imagine what happens when you stop surviving and start attacking. That's when fire becomes power, and power changes everything. Let them laugh. Let them turn away. Just don't let them be right. Make your life so clear, so strong that no one can ignore it. Make your discipline legendary. Make your success impossible to forget. Let the world hear your name long after you're gone. You've got one shot, one life. Turn every scar, every setback, every ounce of pain into something that lasts forever. Don't waste it. Don't pause it. Don't try to bargain with it. Own it. Burn the bridges. Cut the safety nets. Go all in. Because that's what it takes to become a force that can't be erased. There will come a day when you look in the mirror and realize you either built something powerful or you let fear build excuses around you. That moment will either haunt you or drive you. That choice is yours. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. Plant your feet. Become the storm, or keep acting like the weather isn't changing. Truth is, life doesn't care how tough it is. It doesn't reward effort. It rewards execution. You can cry, bleed, scream, but if you don't move, nothing changes. So stand up again and again until your movement becomes momentum, until momentum becomes domination. That's when suffering turns into something sacred. That's when pain pays off. You were never meant to be ordinary. That's why it hurts so bad when you act like you are. That tightness in your chest, that restless energy, that's your potential, demanding more. You were made to lead, to shape, to win. So stop numbing yourself. Stop chasing comfort. Stop feeding your excuses. Step into the fire. Let it shape you. Somewhere inside, there's a version of you that scares every excuse you've ever made. The version that shifts rooms when they enter, the one that speaks and the world listens.